every single relapse, it actually starts way before the urge. Because it starts when you break the promises that you make to yourself. If you don't know me, my name is Krishna, and I help young men quit their porn addictions. I think I actually heard Conor McGregor talk about the same concept, where when he was preparing for his fight, he talked about how he needed to wake up at the same time every single day, how he needed to eat right, how he needed to train at this time. And when he didn't do that, when he didn't wake up at the time he was supposed to wake up, when he didn't eat the meals that he was supposed to eat, when he didn't train at the times that he said that he would train, when it came to training, when it came to sparring, when it came to fighting, he didn't feel that good. He wasn't performing as well as he could. Why? Because he was breaking these tiny little promises to himself. He was kind of giving himself micro losses. But then he flipped it. Then he was, when I woke up at the same time every single day, I ate right, I trained at the times I was supposed to train. He made a lot of progress. It also kind of relates to this phrase that I've heard, which is death by 1,000 cuts. The idea is that if somebody dies in a battlefield, they don't die if a warrior. If a warrior dies in a battlefield, a lot of times the warrior doesn't necessarily die from just one big slash on them, right? They don't die from one big sword stabbing. They don't get stabbed one time and they just die. No. It's these tiny little cuts, these tiny little micro cuts, 1,000 of them, that kill them. When we are undisciplined in our lives, when we say that, hey, we're gonna wake up at a certain time, we're gonna train 3 times a week, we're gonna eat healthy, and then we don't do those things, we're teaching ourselves to not trust us. We're teaching ourselves that we can't be trusted. And so when we want to quit porn, when we want to quit our addiction to this, we don't trust ourselves to do it. Why? Because we've given ourselves micro little moments, micro little, proof that we don't keep our word. And I remember those days when I would wake up and I would work hard, those days when I would eat properly and I would go to the gym, it would be so much easier. It would be much, much easier for me to say no to the urges whenever I got the urges, right? Because obviously the urges didn't go away. But I was able to say no to them way, way easier. Why? Because I didn't break the tiny little micro promises that I made throughout the day. I was eating healthy, I was training hard, I was reading, I was meditating, I was doing all these things that I said I would do. And when I did that and then the urge came, I trusted myself. I trusted myself significantly more because it was who I was. And so the self-trust, when we don't keep our word, it erodes, and it erodes quietly. Because you don't just miss a workout and say, oh, I don't trust myself anymore. No, it's not that. But you miss one workout, and then you miss the next one, and the next one. And you work out maybe one day, and then you feel good, and then you miss the next one that you said you were going to go to. You said you were going to eat healthy, but you didn't, right? You said you were going to quit porn. You said you were going to stop watching it, and you didn't. And so when I taught myself that I couldn't trust myself, it was so much harder for me to resist the urges. It was so much harder for me to, whenever I got the urge, to say no to it. It was way harder. And I think the reason why this happens is because we expect too much of ourselves. And honestly, it kind of comes from ego. It's a little bit narcissistic in a way, because we're thinking to ourselves, I should be able to quit porn immediately. I should be able to, in the gym, right? I should be able to bench press 315 pounds immediately. I should be able to do a one-arm push-up immediately. If somebody said that to you and they were just a beginner in the gym, what would you say to them? Well, you'd probably be, okay, I get that you have that goal, But you need to start at the bottom and build your way back up. You need to build up to it. You need to progress to it. My action step for you that you can take from this video is just choose one non-negotiable. Maybe it could be your bedtime. It could be that you're going to work out at a certain time, that you're actually going to hit the workout, that you're going to eat right at a certain time, that you're going to do your homework or whatever it is. And just track it just for 7 days. Because when you track those things for 7 days, it's just going to give you data. It's going to give you hard data, and it's going to be, oh, I only kept my bedtime 3 out of 7 times this week. Or I only hit 3 out of the 6 workouts that I said I was gonna hit. Maybe instead of feeling bad, instead of being, oh, this sucks, I fell short, I did all this stuff. Maybe just be, okay, this is where I'm at right now. Maybe, okay, I know I need to hit 6 workouts. And I hit 3 this week. Well, maybe next week I can go hit 4. Maybe next week I don't even have to do the 4th workout. Maybe I can just walk into the gym. Right? Just break it down, these tiny little actionable steps for you. Simplifying it and setting your expectations just not even a little bit lower, just way lower than you think they should be, is going to help a lot. Because yes, you are capable of more, and you are worthy of more. You're not unworthy in any way. You're just not there yet. Not in worth, but in capacity. That, at least for me, has been a good mental reframe that's helped me. You can apply this to porn addiction as well, right? Instead of thinking to yourself, hey, I promise myself that I'm going to not watch porn, not fap at all. I'm not going to watch it anymore. That's a great goal. But for you right now, you can't do that. If you're someone who's watching and who's still watching porn every single day, maybe is still relapsing every 3 or 4 days, you can't do that right now. What you can do is, let's say, you're fapping once this month. Well, not once this month, once every single day for a month, right? If you track it over a month, you say you fap on average once every single day. Let's say the month is 30 days. Well, instead of doing it 30 times this month, 1 per day, let's say you reduce it from 30 to 25. That's progress. And if you keep that tiny promise to yourself, you're going to start to rebuild your self-trust. And when you rebuild your self-trust, it's going to be easier to resist. It's going to be easier to make progress. And so it actually becomes like a positive self-reinforcing cycle. And then the next month, instead of 25, you do 20. And then maybe 12, maybe 10. That's how you rebuild your self-trust. It's not by saying that you need to do everything all at once, but just by saying, I'm going to start in the gym, right? I'm going to start with the empty barbell. If this video helped you and you want to go more in depth into actually how to quit porn, the step-by-step process, I have a program. It involves 5 phases, 5 steps that you just follow in chronological order that you can use to quit porn. And I break down every single thing for you inside of each phase in detail. I give you all the resources, all the tutorials, everything that you need. And so, if you want to check that out, you can go and click the link in the description down below. Take care, brother.